Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic today is the computer, the internet, and web page design. And of course we have to talk about the computer, the internet, and new trends in web page designs. Mr. Nathaniel Perry. Mr. Nathaniel Perry is from Tennessee State University and with the Department of Institutional Research. And of course, Mr. Perry, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Thank you, Dr. Haney.
And to, in a real sense, make the statement that you've been with us on a number of occasions, but I think that what we're trying to do this morning in terms of the computer, the internet, and web page designs goes much beyond that in the sense that we recognize you not only being a part of institutional research at Tennessee State University, but we also recognize you as the individual who, in a real sense, has been responsible for everything that we've been able to accomplish on the internet and with the web page and all of those things over the last 10 years. I think about in 1998, for the first time I got in touch with you in reference to creating some kind of situation dealing with the internet, and of course out of that came a number of other things in reference to that, and I just wanted to say that we certainly appreciate that. And let us have you to start us off by talking about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important that in a real sense laid a foundation for you being able to steer and guide me in terms of my own internet development.
Okay. Well, I actually started in the military. It was back in 1988 where I had my first experience with doing projects on the computer. And it just started out with something simple as Harvard graphics and doing slide presentations. And it built on it kind of gets you hooked as you're working on a computer. You start getting more and more involved. And as it built, I started doing statistics in the Army with the recruiting command in Atlanta, and eventually started working as a trainer at Tennessee State University, where I met you and started we started building web pages together, and that's how our connection actually built.
You know, why don't you say something, Mr. Perry, in reference to the computer, in the sense that there are so many people, even today, I think when we first talked about this, I think we talked about the reluctance on the part of many people to become involved with the computer. Why don't you explain how the technology has changed to such a way now that it's relatively easy compared to the way it was when you started, or even when I started?
When we first started, it was to a point where you had to type in all the different codes in the background. You had to take a text editor, type in the codes, what words you wanted to say, what picture you wanted to show up, and you had to make sure that those tags matched where you wanted to go. Then they started coming out with what you see is what you get type programs for web documents, where when you see that I'm going to put a picture in this location, then that's where that picture is going to show up. So it kind of developed from there to now they have already built templates where all you can do is go on the internet and you can buy a template and just put your information inside of that template. So it's really user-friendly for many people that are starting out with HTML documents.
Well, you know, when you first met the internet, Mr. Perry, I think you indicated that you were involved in military service. But now, how much has the whole idea of the internet changed over the last many years? I mean, why is that important today compared to the way it was when you first started? Because you did not start with the entire, the range of what we have today dealing with the internet.
It's the usage, the people's becoming familiar with what the internet is all about, and being able to reach, instead of this local area as far as putting out a product or information that you want to display, you're reaching a global community, such as some of the people that you've met in UK that would like some of the information that you put on this television show. So you see it's a wide variety of people that want to see your information, and you're able to get that information to them as quickly as possible.
You know, I think you mentioned the whole idea of not only reaching the local community, but in a real sense, over the last few seconds we have before our first commercial break, in a real sense, when we come back, we want to talk about some of the new avenues and new adventures that are involved in trying to reach this global market more than anything else, and how we might be able to play into that market, because I think that that's one of the most important things now that people are concerned about, that the market is there and that the technology is there, but somehow unless you become acquainted with the market and the technology, and that's what we want to try to do today, then you know, it's useless. And so we want to try to do that today. And of course we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.